How come they're not coming up over there? I don't know. Is that working? Let me see. Yes, we know. Yeah, I know. But, ay, ay, ay. Oh no, I can't make that bigger. Too much. Great. Rockets going off. Well, that was either a really noisy tractor trailer or the rockets are launching. One or the other. Can I turn these guys off? Nope. Now we're in the dark. Oh, come on. All I did was turn you a little bit. Be wise, guys. My lights are not working. Those things are so tiny. Hey, Carol. How's it going? Ugh. Oh, it's been a lunatic day for people's car alarms going off. It's been insane. That's too bright back there. I'm gonna fix it. There, that's better. Not so bright. I can actually see what's behind me. I changed angles. What's happening? How was your day today? Turn it. I'm hoping that stays okay. It got warmer out. The wind died down. I'm closing all the windows. It gets hot in here. Oh. I was trying to throw up the short this afternoon, but I couldn't upload anything. I didn't know they were busy at SpaceX. I'm not sure if it went off yet, or I might have missed it this afternoon. But I couldn't upload anything. At about 5 o'clock, I saw the announcement. I said, I guess that's why. Dreves, how are you doing? Was a pretty good day. It's a lively parking lot tonight. It's a full moon weekend, and it's also King Tide weekend. Oh, I'm trying to turn around here. Hey there. People have been fighting in the parking lots. Everybody's just getting crazy. Crazy. And car alarms keep going off all day today, everywhere. But it was a good day. A good day. We got some sun. Got cloudy later on, but I got enough to do this tonight. So that I was happy about. Sorry about the lights. That's all we got, because nothing's really working spectacularly. That's a little bit better. Somewhat better. Hope everybody had a good weekend. Everybody's getting cranky. They're all hyped up. They just came out of the buffet. This place is crazy. They got this buffet place. And I swear to God, once a week maybe twice a week, the cops are there arresting somebody. I don't know what happened at the buffet. Maybe too much sake, a little too much drinking going on. People get crazy over there. Then every once in a while an ambulance shows up and this place is packed. I was like, dude, twice a week the ambulance is there, once a week the cops are there. I don't know about going to eat in that place. But it's always mobbed. And they're not cheap either, because it's real cooked food like. So they're a little expensive for my taste. Too much. But can you hear that outside? Drag race. They worry about people sleeping in the cars, and we got the Indy 500 over here every night. Now all of a sudden the cops aren't here in certain places. I think they're annoying it. Hey Derek, what's up? I didn't see that before. It was scrolling too far. There's hitches in everything today because SpaceX is active. So nothing's working correctly. And I'm not sure if it went off yet or it's about to. Usually they like to do night launches, especially on the weekends. And I forgot tomorrow's a holiday, no school, so I was happy about that. It's going to be nice and quiet. That I'm very happy about. It's going to be like another Sunday. Oh, thank you, Derek. Let me tell you, these people don't knock it off. They're trying to change voting on something about at least paying the military. So I don't know what's going to happen. Ah, Carefree Highway. You're in northern Florida. Yeah, it was nice. It was windy like crazy. Because I'm beachside over by Cape Canaveral. You're leaving? Don't leave. But it was a good day. It was packed. Everything is flooded. Okay. Don't leave right away. But yeah, it was really good. Hey, Teresa, it's okay. We're just getting going. There's little hitches in the chat. It speeds up, then it slows down. Elon Musk is up to no good again. So, I don't know what they're gonna do. Yeah, they get their payday. This would be their first check. That's why I'm trying to remember. They went out the day before the first. That's why I don't understand. I don't understand anything of their timing or anything else. I don't get it. I really don't. Social Security is really mad. Me too. I miss talking to you too. No, I like that. The little number one. Those are cool. Oh, I'm looking at the wrong nitwit. I'm looking at the wrong one. Oh, those are cool. Thank you, Derek. That's neat. What was I saying? Oh, with that other Congress guy saying that's okay, we'll just go back out again right before Christmas. Yeah, for their 2-week vacation. And I don't know what that's going to mean for December, but Supposedly, it's a broken doll. That's funny. Oh, those are cool. I like all the stickers. Where did you do that? Those are neat. Yeah, email me some photos. Let me see those Halloween costumes. So, I'm seriously hoping these smiley faces. Oh, yes, I like the smiley faces. I just hope they don't do this again. That'd be horrible to do this at Christmas again. Because that's a lot longer. And I forgot that when they were passing, because they wouldn't pass Obamacare, I forgot it was 21 days. So they missed the check. I don't understand how they do it. I just wish they would stop. They're only holding back all these paychecks because they're about to run out of Social Security because they spent all the money and they got caught. they're trying to snatch every dollar they can find. But this is incredibly horrible. Oh, good. Everything was pretty dry, and I think just because we had that hurricane going past, I don't know what happened, but it flooded, and it's still flooded. It is not going down. There's like huge lakes everywhere. There's ducks and birds all over the place in the middle of the lawns, and it was incredible. I went to that one park today because I usually never go there, and I saw a bunch of signs. So I said, let me try in there because I know the other one was flooded. I wasn't even going there. There's no place to go. And they had a nice clean grass area that was kind of raised up. So I asked the guy, can I park by this tree? He said, yeah, just turn sideways if I was facing this way. He said, can you do this? I said, yes, I can. I said, and I can stay here? He said, yes, you can. He said, we're just going to park around you. I said, good to go. Play games. Video games, do you mean? I used to play a lot. A lot, a lot. I'm an 80s girl. Used to spend half my time trying to beat Richard's high score. His 7th and 8th grade. He would get off the machine, I would get on, and I'd try and break his score and put my name above his. ah. I like some of the newer video games. They're pretty cool now. I wish. Watching all these great, I don't know, it might make me nauseous. Probably end up getting car sick playing one of those games. I always wanted to, I saw the one in the store, I tried it, where you put the goggles on and it looks like you're in the game. Oh, those are pretty wacky. I don't know about that. But those look pretty neat. I thought about getting one of those. We were gonna. I was gonna get him one for Christmas. He loves his games still. Wait, turn that back around. I can't see with that thing in my face. But it's very busy for a Sunday night. And I forgot, happy Thanksgiving to everybody up in Canada. In Canada, I forgot their Thanksgiving was this weekend, or it's tomorrow. Or it was Friday, I forget. I think they have a holiday on Monday, too. Theirs is a month. I can't believe we're 2 weeks away from the World Series getting going. I haven't been watching. I was watching some of the college football over the weekend. The big rivalries. My school started losing, so I turned that off yesterday. FSU, I forget who they were playing. Hey Josh, how's it going? Having a good night? I hope so. Yeah, pretty good night. It's a better night for live streaming. It's very rowdy out tonight. I realized everybody's got tomorrow. Some people got tomorrow off, so not much. Sitting in the parking lot talking with you guys, hiding from the cops. But it's been loud for a while. Oh man, that's the hardest part. The days doing this are fine. It's the night times that get hectic, you know. Uh, Not real relaxing when you're waiting. Trying to be quiet. That's why I like the loud and rowdy places. I don't mind. I belong to a bunch of different gyms, and you stick with the 24-hour places. This one place is, I don't know if it's a nightclub or a gym, which is fine by me because there are people in that place 24 hours a day. It is packed. Packed. I can't believe this many people exercise. But then I realized most of the kids are hanging out there. Then you get a bunch of football players come in from the college. Then you got the high school football teams come in. All the little cheerleader girls come in. I was listening to a bunch of these high school kids talking. They must have just met in the gym. And I didn't know you went here too. All the girls were giggling, and oh, it was funny. I was like, young love. They must have been about 16, 15 or 16. Everybody's driving down here too at 15 and 16. You got your permit. So it was funny listening. And they were right outside the park right next to me. They didn't even know I was in here. I turned everything off and I was listening to bullshit. And the guys were trying to like smooth talk the girls and trying to make them laugh. And oh, I was cracking up laughing. I listened to them for like a half an hour and then they finally left. I was like, good, I could put my TV show back on. Thank you. But those are good places. Nobody's bothering. And there's a crap load of cops. Half of the sheriff's department, the regular black and whites come there. I've seen a bunch of state troopers pull it in, either on their way off the ship or most likely about to go on their shift. And then I've seen the same cops come back off duty. But a lot of them take their cars home, so a lot of them get up at 6 in the morning or they come back after a shift, work out, and go home. But that place is loaded with cops. And I was like, okay, nobody's bothered me. Knock on wood. So far, so good. And we had a crazy guy in the park last week, screaming and yelling at everybody. I don't know what was wrong with him. But that's when it's time to break it up and find a new place to go during the day. Walmart got a little creepy. One day I was doing something and I was there early in the morning. I was charging up. I think because probably the park was flooded. And I was sitting here and all of a sudden I hear a whole bunch of people talking. Like a whole crowd of people. And I opened the little curtain on the side. It was like 9:30 in the morning. There were 5 cop cars. 2 unmarked and 3 sheriff's cars. It was insane. There were like 20 cops outside, 2 per car. Around 2 little Mazda, like little Nissans type of thing. I don't even know what happened. I just shut the curtain and laid down and pretended I wasn't there. And I was like, maybe I should move in case things get crazy and people start pulling out weapons. I don't know what was happening. They just kind of scooch down low. I said, well, if they start shooting, it should go right through the windows. But how's it by you guys? Any exciting stuff happening in your town? It's been fairly quiet lately, other than the Walmart fiasco. Walmart's getting nuts. I stopped going there. I only go there when I absolutely have to. Now. And what happened to the dollar store? Everything's $1.50 now. I hadn't been there in like 3 weeks. Because some guy was, the angry guy from the park who was yelling at everybody. The week before that, he was going to outside the dollar store every morning. And they put all the, down here, they put a whole bunch of stuff outside. Oh, cool. I know, I miss Halloween. Halloween was fun. It was fun. I miss my Halloween with the seniors, with the town throwing parties for Halloween. It was fun with Rich. He had the 2 kids, you know, they were young. Oh yeah, they got all kinds. They're merging Dollar General and Dollar Tree together. So, and the $5 store is all kind of intermingled in Dollar Tree now. I got that little vacuum for the car there. It was $5. That thing is, I'm telling you, 100 times better than the Armor All one I bought for 20. What a piece of junk. On the 31st, end of the month. We have Halloween and, I was going to say the Super Bowl. Halloween and the World Series at the same time. Oh, America, USA. I'm in Florida. Land of the lunatics. Where are you from? Oh, get out. That's awful cool. Across the pond. Well, I'm English, British, and Welsh at the same time. My mother's English name is Tinker. And there's a whole bunch of places named after them, supposedly in Wales. One place I always wanted to go to, those big cliffs of Dover, those big white rock cliffs. You see, you know, I love the English movies. I grew up listening to English Acorn TV, okay? Hercule Poirot, all the good oldies. That's all my mother watched. It was like Richie came over to my house when we were little, and he laughed. He said, I didn't know they show this stuff here for you guys. And he was watching all the British TV shows, you know, my mom would have on. And she's like, why, it's the same thing going to your house. You got Univision on, don't you? You know, he said, it's just funny to come and see this. South African. Yeah, like us. We're Scottish. We're Scottish, Nordic, Viking, Welsh, and Hindu, Indian. Indian. My grandmother's from where? Oh, I forget the name of the place in India where my mother's mother is from. But the family owns tea plantation in, oh, I was going to say Shangri-La. Oh, what is the name? The place that got wiped out with the tsunami. I'll think of it in a minute. They made the movie about it. Sri Lanka. There we go. We're all a little bit of the same. We got the Foley family by marriage. So we're Irish by marriage. We're probably all related. Yeah, my family got around too. That's a good mix, Norwegian. My dad's family is Scandinavian. I have Vikings on both sides of my family, my mother and my father. I said, we better not do that DNA where they trace your family roots. I have a funny feeling my parents were actually related somehow. More by marriage relations, not that way. Ireland. Cool. We're getting all over the world here. How did this happen? I was looking at the analytics. I got little tiny things that UK. One little tic-tac sliver of a blue line. That was pretty neat. What do you guys do over there? Are you van lifing in Europe? Or you do YouTube stuff? Yeah, it'd be funny if you guys lived right near each other, right? That would be really funny. Said, dude, I live down the block. Yeah, T, that's it. Everybody, Richard used to laugh at me. My husband passed, and he was Cuban Dominican, and all they drink is espresso. Oh my Lord. I never drank coffee, ever. No one in my family drinks coffee except for my father, the Marine, and it was black, no sugar. Oh. I don't know how people do that. That's okay. You can't help where you live. Are things quieted down over there, or that's just an ongoing thing? Oh, LA from me? Well, Los Angeles is about 3,200 miles away. I'm in Florida on the East Coast. At the bottom, they're up here, all the way on the other side, on the other ocean. I'm on one ocean, they're on the other. I'm on the Atlantic Ocean. Hurricane Central. Oh, I miss that. I miss living upstate New York and the Jersey Shore for that. They're just getting ready, setting stuff up now. But everybody goes to like Disneyland. They don't do a lot of that local stuff too much anymore. Everybody goes to the big Universal, uh, Disneyland, SeaWorld, and they do all that there now. No, the last, oh my God, no. The last concert I saw, what was the last concert I went to? Last concert I went to was 1986. It was the 24th anniversary of the Grateful Dead. And it was the night of their anniversary. Somehow we got tickets. A friend got tickets and just said, "Let's go." He didn't pay for them. He knew someone who worked at the place, and the guy gave him like 6 tickets for free. And we were pretty close, let me tell you. I can't afford to go. It's crazy expensive. Every time we were looking stuff up to go to, people were coming. It was like $500 a person. It's $1,000 for what? 3.5 hours? I was there at, let me tell you, because ain't nobody gonna beat the crazy Grateful Dead, an hour and a half long drum solo. We got there, and I'm not kidding you, about 7:30. They were right on time, 8 o'clock p.m. We got out of there, the sun was coming up. It was 5:30 in the morning. It was like a 9-hour concert. They just kept playing. They took a couple of breaks here and there, but that was nuts. I didn't think they were ever going to stop. And then we ended up having to walk home over a highway. We had to walk home 7 miles. Oh, jeez. The cab that dropped us off said, "Yeah, we'll come back and get you." I said, "You promise?" "Yeah, no problem." Oh, no. They lied. They took us out there to Giant Stadium and left us there. And we had to walk home on a highway, elevated highway. It's like walking down I-95 on the side of the road. It was, and there's no room. It's not meant for people to walk over, but it was the only way to get out of there because there's a giant river that's 5 miles wide. It's a big, long, huge bridge. That's the last concert I ever went to. Oh yes, the 80s through the early 90s was the best part of New York. After everything got cleaned up, you could walk around by yourself. No, there's not a lot of like YouTube people down here, and they don't advertise who they are. Like I've seen a bunch of the videos of people who are here hanging out in different places, but they put their stuff on like a week after they're gone. So they've already kind of been here and gone already. I'm trying to think any singers. No, mostly living in Jersey for those years and working for the town. Um, Met a lot of singers. A lot of people would come to New Jersey and make videos in the 1980s when they wanted the New York City backdrop. So they would come to our town. Oh, we met like every band on MTV. My stepdad was a cop, and he always worked the detail for that. So we got to see Kool and the Gang, Sting. I mean, every half of MTV had come there. Now, Kool and the Gang decided to pull a fast one. They didn't want to pay $5,000 for the permit to make their video because they're there all day. These sneaky jerks showed up at like 11 o'clock at night, set up, and figured nobody was going to notice that they're putting on a rock concert across the street from people's houses with these huge bright lights. It was nuts. My stepdad came home, woke me up. He said, "Come on, let's go." I said, "What?" He said, "Kool in the Game. We're going to go bust them. Get in the car." So I got in the back of the cop car. And they went up and they were going to arrest the producer guy. And then so he quick whipped out his checkbook and wrote them a check for the $5,000. And then we sat there all night listening to them making their videos. No, no Bon Jovi. No Bon Jovi. We saw a lot of movie stars too. Um, everybody who makes a TV show, and they they show New York, and a lot of them, it was too expensive to film in New York, so we looked kind of like it because you had the Hudson River, and as long as you didn't see the Empire State Building and they stayed on either side, there's a whole bunch of TV shows like and movies that were filmed in our town. The Sopranos, they did a lot there in Jersey. They rented out a couple of houses that people rented out. Those people made a fortune living on the Hudson River, renting out their houses for movies and stuff like that. We got to meet uh, Harry Connick Jr. Now it's a singer and actor in one, and Cindy Crawford. Ugh, let me tell you, camera does as bad as it can make you look. It can make you look 100 times better than you look in person. And she is not like 5'9" or 5'11". Everybody thinks she's real tall. I'm 5'8.5". Okay, she came up to here, and that girl was butt ugly. Butt ugly. I don't know what kind of stilts they got her walking around on, but she is not like 5'11". She is tiny. She was shorter than Harry Connick Jr., and he's a tiny guy. I don't know if I got a favorite now. I like Adele. I like her voice. I don't really listen to a lot of new stuff. I can't even think of one I really like. I listen to more rock stuff like, I don't know, Creed. You know, I loved Billy Idol in the day, the Pretenders. I like more UK singers than I did the English bands. I'd like to go and see Adele. If I could, I'd like to see Adele. She is, what a beautiful voice that woman has. She really does. And I've heard her sing live with no, no music in the background, just singing by herself. Wow. She gives me goosebumps. I can't really think of anybody. No, I'll check that out though. Just, I'll look those up and check them out. All right, I'll check that out. I forget the other girl's name. I liked some of Rihanna when she first started. Some of her stuff was pretty good in the beginning. Like, I'm doing okay. What I'm gonna do is tomorrow I'm gonna stop at the doctor. I'm not gonna call. I'm just gonna run in the door when they open. And supposedly my health insurance is still intact. Oh yeah, Eminem. I liked him in the beginning. It was hard for him to bust into that rapping stuff. He was pretty good. I like some of his stuff. I like oh, what is the name of it? It's one of my favorite ones. No, I didn't. I saw it on it went by on the YouTube and I forgot to save it. I'm gonna check it out. I know he was having a lot of issues himself for a while. But I'll check that one out. I haven't listened to a lot. Yeah, I know most of Eminem's songs. I'm trying to think of the one where he's talking about you have one moment, one chance, like, don't let it go, like to take your shot. I forget, what is the name of that song? You know the one I'm talking about? Eminem. Like he's got one chance to make it big and get out of the trailer park. Oh, why can't I remember that song? Wait, let me see if I can find it. That's one of my favorite songs. One moment, one time. That's like my pep song. um, I'll see if I can find it. Oh, come on. Oh, come on. Where's the good one? I see them all going up. Oh, see, now I'm going to be stuck listening to stuff. What is the name of that song? One moment? Okay, where's the... And now it's only going to have the new stuff out. Oh, of course, it won't be here. I will. I'm going to listen to that tonight. That's what I'm scrolling it up right now to try to save it. When I find it, I'll put it up in the post. Because it's an old one. I don't know. It just keeps having all the new ones. He looks so different now. It's like you don't even recognize him anymore. He grew up, right? Okay. Why can't I find that song? Lose Yourself? No, that's not it. I'll find it and I'll put it up in the post. Yeah, you know what I'm going to remember at like 3 o'clock in the morning. You know that, right? Why isn't it there? Because it's too old, that's why. I don't think that's it. Oh, that would have been the place to be. Detroit. Oh, yeah. I'm a musician. Lose Yourself. I think. Get yelled at for having this. I think this is it. Yeah.
Look,
This
if
one.
you had
One
shot,
chance.
one opportunity.
I played this song. We were coming down to stay here to live after my dad died. My mother died, and 6 months later, my dad died. And his job wasn't doing well. He was in and out of work. They were going to close in. Lose Yourself. Wait, where the hell is it? There it is. Okay. Lose Yourself, Eminem. It's like if someone gives you a chance and you got one shot, it's yes or no, live or die. You can't change your mind. You know, do you go for it or do you let it go? And we had a big decision to make of him leaving his job and coming down to live here. You know, he never lived here before. And you know, we took a big chance. That was a huge chance, but we did it. And I played two songs. And, you know, we took a big chance. I played that song. We had 3,000 miles well, about 2,000 miles driving time. And I played that Eminem song on a loop all the way here. And then when we got to South Carolina, we were about to hit Georgia. I started playing Two Tickets to Paradise by Eddie Money. Just as we started hitting all the palm trees. Just to sucker him in. We came for a 2-week visit. It was like Gilligan's Island. And that was it. We didn't go back. We only went back for our stuff. I stayed 6 months. His place was out of work still. After 9/11, they never went back right again. And everything kind of went downhill from there. And that was it. That was it. He was lucky. He went into the first hotel we went to. We were going fishing and going to the beach. And we saw a sign. It said, "We're hiring. All positions available." And we looked at each other. And he made a U-turn at the traffic light, went back. He said, "That was a sign from God." I said, "I know it was." Just as we're passing back, it said, "Come in and get a job." You know, just as he's passing it. And he walked in. 15 minutes later, he walked out with a job. So we stayed. But yeah. Hey, Kimmy, what's up? Someone got in trouble for saying something stupid. I fell asleep for a little while. I woke up and I saw your message. And I said, oh shit, I don't want to answer. I tried. The Indy 500 and car alarms kept waking me up. I never got to sleep. So like 5 days of straight rain. I've been sleeping for like a week. There's nothing to do when you're trapped in the car and hurricane force wind. I couldn't even sleep to the nice rain because it wasn't like, you know, it wasn't a rainy day like it was the other day. It was crazy wind. I didn't trust them that we weren't getting tornadoes because that wind was nuts. The van was rolling around like this in the bed. I was like, damn, it's getting bad. I think I can turn this off now. Okay, enough with the fan. Now it's getting cold again. First it was hot, now it's cold. This place is getting crowded again. It's been nuts. Oh, it's gonna get into the 50s. The 50s are coming. In a couple of days, probably by Wednesday. They said, oh, it's gonna be about 60. When they say 60, you minus 5 to 10 degrees for where I am. Already? Oh. Well, I don't know where the hell Chrome is, because he was still on the other side, but it was just starting to get cold. because I know he's pretty far away. And yeah, happy Thanksgiving to Canada's again. Yeah, they were getting they got hammered this year between the floods and the mudslides. They never had a chance to dry out. More East Coast. Okay, that's I couldn't remember where Calgary was. He's gonna have to drive home through that. Hope he's remembering that while he's doing his van. Now, is it on Monday? Your Thanksgiving, right? Monday? Tomorrow? Okay. Oh, cool. I loved when the Olympics were there. Oh my God, that had to be the best Olympics ever with all that snow. That was a crazy year for skiing and in winter sports that one year in the 80s. I never got to really go to that. As far as I went, and he passed a couple of things. Was the St. John's River in the middle? Like, that's as far as to the middle where I went. Because he was at St. John's River Bay something or pulled over. And I was like, oh my God, I remember that. I was there. And he passed through a couple of other places that I had been to. But there were two places, which is a hotel that I remember. Um, it's in Banff, and I see it a lot in Matthew's videos. Big red brick, kind of like little towers. Looks like a castle hotel. I know I saw that, so we went as far as that, but we didn't stay. We just did like a buzzing tourist roundabout kind of thing. We didn't stay. Okay. But parts of that, when I first saw Matthew's videos, I was like, I remember a lot of that town. Hey, Stacy, what's happening? Oh. So, what I'm going to do is go tomorrow, make an appointment at the doctor. I can't wait, and I don't care if you don't get paid. At this point, I don't give a shit. Sorry. Yeah, we finally got some sun. It's been like 3 weeks of rain. Or 3 months. Hey, welcome back, Derek. Everybody say hey. But, yeah, I'm going to make the appointment. I need to know what's going on. And I know he really can't do anything to help me. But I just want to hear his opinion on, what we found. And how bad does he think it is? And are we guessing on whether or not this guy, out of the goodness of his heart, did the second opinion for me? Because he had to go through 2 years of my test results and, well, the MRIs and the bone scans and stuff. Oh, Lord, that poor house. Oh, it was so nice to have the sun today and the wind. Oh, it was a gorgeous day. No, no, not yet. Yeah, right. But I'm hoping this guy, he's very expensive, but he's a friend of my doctor's. They went to medical school together. So even if he couldn't, you know, throw me a pro bono, he's in the plan, but those doctors in this one health group um, the doctors don't have to accept the insurance even if they're in a group. So I'm covered for any group, any plan, anywhere, any doctor. But he's got to deal with the Medicaid portion, which is a very picky, nasty thing to do, to say no to, because say the bill is $450. Know how much the Medicaid portion would pay? The 50 bucks. 50 bucks. So instead of getting 450, he'd only be getting 400. So and some is as low as $30. A $30 difference, and these doctors will not take the Medicaid portion if you've got both. Oh, good. That's real good. Yeah, I'm waiting on paperwork. I was unloading my crappy life insurance policy because I don't need it. Um, my funeral arrangements get taken care of by the government, so I didn't need it. And it's not really a cash inable policy. I'm only gonna get like, I think it was almost like $325, but and be enough to get the solar panel. That lady still hasn't mailed me the paperwork yet. Now this guy gets $100 a minute. A minute, 15 minutes with the guy is almost $2,000. It's insane, insane. We're talking $1,800 for 15 minutes. That's it. So even just to have him write the report on how bad he thinks it is, and trying to give me alternative means, or just a fucking sorry timeline, you know. I know my mother died in 18 months when we found this in her, so we're sticking to that 2 year thing. You know, I'm better off than she was because she already had cancer before she acquired the 9/11 stuff from breathing in the fumes. Um, and they're only they're only on the big lawsuit now is anybody living in New York, whether you were a resident or you were a first responder. Now it's just a class action lawsuit where you're gonna get nothing, nothing, nothing. You call these big places where they got 50,000 people in on this thing. I was in on one of those. You know what happened? I got $25. There were so many people that went in on this class action lawsuit. It was for some medication we took. And I was like, psh, forget it. Just forget it. But they're doing the 9/11 thing, but they're only doing the first 8 months. I don't know why they didn't go 9. We put the fire out in 8 months, but it was still smoldering with invisible fumes. Okay, like you ever see heat coming off the ground, or when you get in gas, you can see that little, clear. It was clear fumes, and a lot of as the metal and stuff and the fires were going out, it was like a fire, like a barbecue, with charcoal. The charcoal embers are still hot. How much water you got to put on to really wet those charcoals where they're not hot anymore. So it was kind of steamy, but it was still burning stuff, but the smoke was clear. You couldn't see it. Now with us, they count the 9 months down to the minute and the days. It's anyway, so that finally just came on. But that'll be years. Yeah, it was 167 different types of chemicals were burning in that smoke. 200 toxic chemicals burning in that smoke. The smell was incredible. We had to keep our windows closed with wrapped up with thick plastic, and I mean that real heavy, thick tarp plastic. The duct tape, we had 2 layers. We did 1 layer, then we went around and did it on the wall. So we did the whole window frame, and then we went with a second layer on the inside and just duct taped it right to the wall. The air conditioners, everything. We had our windows closed from September 11th probably until that April or May. That before we unpulled that plastic. All the air conditioners had to be thrown in the garbage. You couldn't clean them out. Every single air conditioner, people had to throw it all away. Imagine that. I'm sure people did, and they said, oh, I can get that out of there. Yeah, good luck with that. Now you're sick, dummies. So I'm going to see what happens, because I can't wait. Oh, no longer. Oh my God. Yeah, no one was. Was she coming out of New York or going in on that train? They were using some of them to get the last of the people out. That's what I did. I was in charge of the evacuations because I was dumb enough to write the plan back in 1994 in case they tried it again. We had five different towns that we were bringing them through, and I worked with where she would have been going through on those last trains would have been Hoboken, New Jersey, unless she left for Newark, New Jersey. Oh, going to work. Oh, Lord. That poor woman having to get back to Brooklyn. That's where Rich worked. He worked in Red Hook. Right on the water, too. By, all the freight came in over there by the seaport. That was tough. Wow. But yeah, so I just seeing all the ads for that stuff now. So I don't know. So I have to see what he says or didn't say. Well, my appointment was supposed to be for Wednesday, so I'm gonna go in tomorrow and see if she still has the appointment open on Wednesday. Hey, love and life, what's happening? Ah, Rich used to work. There's a school a high school right there, big school. And around the corner are, like down the block, are, I used to drive him to work sometimes if I needed the car. um, yeah, I drive him from Jersey all the way to Red Hook, Brooklyn, then drive home, do what I had to do if I had doctor's appointments, then drive all the way back to Brooklyn and go get him again. That was a hell of a day when I needed the car. He worked at the fur factories over there. And there was a couple of places building furniture. You probably worked right by where he was. He was working at Meisel Peskin. And I'm trying to remember the name of the street. Oh, shit, I can't remember the name of the street. I'll think of it. But yeah, he was right there. It's the only, really one of the only places where they have all those small factories all near each other. Can you hear those cars? It's like the Fast and the Furious. Yeah, they were right near. He was like a block away from there. No, no, I'm in my sleepy spot. The park closes at 6 o'clock. I kick everybody out while the sun's out. It takes them hours. It takes them about an hour to kick all the scragglers out. So I always leave about a half hour before I know they're about to start getting in their little Ranger cars. And you gotta go. I said, yeah, we gotta go, but the people living in the bushes, they can stay, right? That's when you realize all those people walking out of the park during the day. It's like all these people walk to the park. I said, no, they didn't walk to the park. They're living in the forest. Dummies. And they come out and hang out during the day, and they go back in the afternoon. It's like all of a sudden the park, it's really crowded about an hour before it's gonna close. It's because they're all running out to use the bathrooms. Before the security, they have security in that park though. They have 2 guys that drive around all night long throughout the whole park, through the campground, through everything. And that's a job I would not want. No, thank you. It's fine by me. Let me see if I can turn this down a little bit. Oop. So, I've been doing okay on the eating and stuff. Took a while. So August, September, October. Told you it takes about 2 months to shrink your stomach down. So I noticed that the last week I haven't been very hungry. So I'm getting used to the not eating thing. And part of it is, besides just eating baby food, mush, is not eating. You have to cut what you're eating in half. Yeah. Yeah, no, it's getting darker. Hey, Carol. How you been? Yeah, now it's 7:30 and the sun's going down. Oh, I hate the summer. It's like 9:30 and it's like 12 in the afternoon. And now I noticed that the tilt, the angle of the sun, when it starts to cool off, now it's October, by next month in November, my charging time will be 9, 8, well, maybe 8 in the morning till only 2:30 in the afternoon. The sun will still be out till 6 o'clock, but it's not hot enough to pull in the watts. It's cooling off now because of the angle of the sun. So it doesn't really do much. I noticed that today. I stopped charging. Today was the first day that the solar panel went down to like 3 watts at like 3:15 this afternoon. I said, oh no, no. Oh, that's good. I'm glad you've been good. Oh, so I'm getting used to the food, and it's just hard. There's, so many, there's food every 20 feet. McDonald's, Taco Bell, this whole state is just drive-through restaurants, takeout. It's like trying to hide from the smell of food. That's been rough. I've been doing a lot of the smoothies, a lot of soup. Take the soup, the cans of soup, I put it in a blender, and I just blend it up. Not supposed to have anything you have to chew too much. That's why I had the eggs. The eggs are fine. He gave me a list of different things. I tried the lo mein, not the crappy takeout Chinese. I went to the other place. It was like $16 for a small lo mein. But it's homemade, and that was okay. And I ate 3 times out of that. It was a big, huge thing, like this big container. I mean, you get a lot for the $16, but I'm still used to the $9 box. But I ate 3 times out of that. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna have to do for the winter. That's what I was doing until mine disappeared. So now we're stuck with the shitty one. But that's what was supposed to be happening this month. I was supposed to be going on Friday. Last Friday was the 4th, to go pick up my new solar panel, waiting for payday. Payday didn't come. So I don't know. And then I'm afraid if they're going to go out in December and pull this crap again, let's say I get my whole check on November 1st, right? I get my check. They could end up taking December's check just because they're going to go out on the 24th and shut down again for the last 2 weeks of December. They'll take that check on the 1st, even though they're not going to go out on strike until the 24th. Or the 12th. I have to be the 20th, right? Yeah. Have to be around the 21st is when they're going to be stopping that payday. Or the 22nd. They should get paid 2 days before Christmas. But I don't know. I don't know, so I'm afraid. Yeah, I know, I'm gonna have to do that. Because right now that's the only viable one that I'm allowed to use that. All the cash apps and stuff, you gotta pay taxes, and it gets complicated. So as long as it's GoFundMe, which is just the money has to go for something in particular, car repairs, paying the bills, stuff like, right, putting gas in the car, anything that's life necessity for food. And I read through all the rules, and that one's okay. You don't owe money to the state of Florida. Somehow I think it gets paid or taken out. But yeah, Florida does not tax GoFundMe. I don't think anyone does. You just can't use it to pay a person. Like if I was running a charity or something, you can't pay someone's salary. It has to go to paying bills and things like that. So everything I was doing with it is under the rules. So I figured just leave it when I need it and see what happens. But yeah, I'm afraid to go get the solar panel next month until they finish this. And if they don't go out, well, they have to go out before January. I don't think they can continue this into the new year, but they're gonna. If they go out, they won't be back. Derek's back again. What's up? Yeah, it's like universal, right? GoFundMe. That's all over the world. Hey, everybody say hey to Derek. But I don't know. They're scaring me with this, considering that this is one of the untouchables. You know, they're not allowed to touch that money, and they did. And they broke their biggest law, their biggest rule possible by taking that disability money. That was a low blow. You can't rip that out of someone's hand, because having that money, when you receive that money, you can't have a bank account. You have more than $1,000 in the bank, they stop your check. You can't have a checking account, you can't have nothing and receive that money. So how do you take away someone's disability check when they're not allowed to keep a savings account and put money away? That I don't get at all. And neither did Social Security. They were having a fit. I can imagine the phone calls those people must have went through. Ooh, I hated going to work and answering the phone when they would pull this. I really do. Douche. And that's why I was glad when they went out when Obama was trying to get Obamacare passed and they wouldn't pass it, and he went out for 20, I think it was 23 days. I was so glad not to be working and answering phones in that office. Oh. But I didn't get touched then. Not till last year. Last year was the first time? Or was that over the winter when I couldn't use my money for 3 days because no one was getting direct deposits? Like 5 banks got hacked and they held our money for 4 or 5 days. It was, I got paid on a Wednesday. I had to go to Friday, and then they said, no, they can't release it yet. They're almost done fixing the computer problem. We'll have to wait till Monday. And it was Monday at like lunchtime when I could take my money out. And that 5 days. Oof. I had like $6 then. I had nothing this time. I was at the end of the month. You can't pull that crap. You're going to do that, you're going to do it at the end of the middle of the month. You can't tell me the day before I'm supposed to get paid, you ain't getting no money. And not even to swear to God all over the internet. There were millions of videos of people, no, we're not touching this, no, we're not touching that, not this. They listed 3 specific ones that they were not touching, and they did it anyway. And they did it anyway. So that was a low blow. There are 82,000 veterans and active duty, and like me, active duty retired, where you're on standby duty. And yeah, that was it. That's how I got hammered. I got hammered twice. I'm on 2 different lists. One for I'm active duty military and still active duty for the federal government. And there's no way to get rid of that. I took those, I said I do, that was I do for life, till the day I die, and I can't get out of it. I discussed that a few years ago when I met the generals out at the VA. Two of them knew my father, and they're like, we're sorry, that's it. You are who you are because of your father and your mother, and that's it, you're stuck. And I was like, oh, lovely. And 9/11 just sealed my fate, that's it. So, I don't know. I wish there was a better way. I just don't know how people are going to catch up for the month of November paying two phone bills, two internet bills, two car payments. You know what I mean? Geez. You know, not like you just took away everybody's car money. You know, they can't even make the payment on the car. They can't pay the car insurance. And in Florida, if you ain't got car insurance and you get stopped by the police, they take your car away. They take you out of your car, tow your car away, and you don't get it back. It gets impounded at $150 a day until you can pay your car insurance and the fines and the penalty. That's insane. But on something like that, I'm sure they would have to let people go. Yeah, you can't take 82,000 military and active duty people's cars away because you took their check without notice, and then they couldn't pay their car insurance. I don't know. So I'm very nervous. 3 more weeks to go to see if I get paid. I was worried they thought they were going to talk about Thanksgiving, and then the guy said Christmas. I was like, oh man, you're going to screw up everybody's Christmas and New Year's. Except your own. Except their own. And I don't understand how the people voting to shut the government down don't have to give up their paycheck. They work for the federal government, same as we do. We all get paid by the same people out of the same bank. So how aren't they included? I haven't figured that one out yet. But very unhappy people in Florida. And everybody's being so nice too, you know, which is good. That's why I like it here. Everybody's in the same boat, you know. Everybody's broke. Nobody's got money. Everybody here either works on the army base or they're in the military. So everybody around you is in the same position, you know. Peeking out my window. Hold on. There's a lot more cars. Because the more people ain't going to work tomorrow. I don't know who. Well, the stores are going to be missing out. There's no Columbus Day sales. Nobody's got no money. So 100,000 people in Florida are broke. We can't go shopping. Oh, that's why I was complaining. I hadn't been to the dollar store in about 2 weeks. I was getting everything I needed from this other store. It's just as cheap. And when I walked in and saw everything was $1.50, I was freaking. I was like, ah. I got to the register. I was like, what? And I said, oh God, I forgot everything's $1. I was adding it up in my head as I got to the line, and I got there, and it was like $7 more than it was. Hold on. The good old days. Chasing after the fire trucks. That was the saying, but yeah. And it was very empty too. The parking lot's been empty since they upped the price. I was wondering what was going on. Nobody could afford the dollar store now. That's when you know it's bad. Maybe those were the idiots who went zooming past before. I don't know. Maybe they catch one of the idiots doing donuts in the parking lot. Somebody did it right in the park. In the middle of the day, I could hear them spinning around, making a circle, burning out their tire. I want to know what jobs these kids have that they can afford to burn out those tires at what, $200 a piece? Where are they working? Yeah, certain things are still the dollar. Ours are a dollar. It went from $1 to $1.25, and most of the stuff is still like candies and stuff like that is still $1.25, but everything else went up to $1.50. Even the cans of vegetables. I bought a can of peas. It was $1.50. Then I went into Walmart and it was like $1.85. I was like, for a can of cheapo peas, you know? I was like, dude, enough is enough. But yeah. Oh, get out of the way. But yeah, mostly soups. Been living on soups and mashed potatoes and yams. Making myself hungry. I think I'm hungry, and then I go to eat, and then it's like, no. My stomach's like, you're gonna make me sick, lady. I don't want it. So I'll let you know if I get the doctor's appointment. So hopefully I can. Fingers crossed. The appointment's still open. And that poor guy from the Veterans Association, I felt bad for him. He's such a do-gooder too. Hold on, I gotta move a second. Ugh. The guy from the Veterans Association was trying to help me out. This poor dude spent 10 days racking his brains out and had to come back like this. I'm sorry. I said, isn't this the worst part where you gotta come back and tell me you couldn't help me out? He said, yes, this is horrible. I hate this. I said, yeah, I used to hate it too. Only before I used to be able to do better. A little better than you're doing. Oh crap, I think our battery's going. This phone is such a piece of garbage. I'm not getting the amount of time I'm supposed to be getting on this. But I think this is going out the door.